Hi, my name is Kristen. This is Kristen Kraves Books. So this is going to be a quick video. I just want to put a readathon on your radar, and that is the Kingfisher Readathon. That is hosted by my friend Sarah at the channel Bookish, and they put together this readathon because Kingfisher is having such a huge moment right now. If you've watched any of the mid-year freakout tags, you will see that so many of us have talked about discovering Kingfisher this year, and I love that I've discovered her this year. I have read Nettle and Bone and What Moves the Dead, which were both of her 2022 releases, and I'm so excited that this readathon is giving me an excuse to go back and read some of her backlist. So this readathon runs from July 22nd to July 31st, so you have plenty of time to put together your TBR, and it's such an easy readathon. It is points-based. There are 3 teams, so obviously Sarah themselves is a host of a team, and I love their team name so much. It is the Demonic Chickens, and if you have read Nettle and Bone, you know where that comes from. And then Kristen from the channel Kristen is Fully Booked is the host of the team The Gingerbread Army, and then Cait from Cait Joy is the host of the Saints of Steel. And those names also come from Kingfisher books that they have both read and loved, so I think that's so fun. And the hard part for me is that I'm friends with all 3 hosts and I don't know what team to choose, so that'll be a last minute decision for me. I'm so conflicted about that one. So the whole point of this is that there are 5 prompts, and for each prompt that you complete you get 10 points for your team, and you can input your points into the Google spreadsheet and all that stuff. I'll have that linked below as well. And then there are other ways to get points as well. You have to declare what your most anticipated read of the readathon is, and if you read that you get 20 extra points. If you post a review anywhere you get 20 points, which I think is a great idea. I love that Sarah's encouraging us all to spread the word of Kingfisher, so I think that's a great prompt. And then the last one is if you complete all 5 prompts you get an extra 50 points. So it's just so much fun, and a lot of Kingfisher's books are novellas and they are short, so I think I calculated the page count for my TBR and it's 1,311 pages. So that's pretty doable for a week if I really focus on it. So if you've been wanting to read Kingfisher or read more of her work, this is a great time to do that. So Sarah's also created a template where you can input the covers of your TBR and put that on your Instagram story if you want to, so I've done that. And as you can see in the middle, it shows your most anticipated read, and my most anticipated read is The Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. And this is the one that Kristen told me I would really like because she knows me. She knows that I like cozy stories. She knows that I like foodie descriptions. If there are food descriptions in a book, I'm gonna love it. That's just the way that it turns out to be. This is something I've discovered about myself recently, and this one just sounds like so much fun. I think it's a murder mystery as well, but it's following a wizard whose familiar is a sourdough starter, which I think a lot of us will appreciate. I think that is so cute, and her magic only works on bread. So I'm thinking that she must create some kind of gingerbread army, and that Kristen's team name is a hint to that, so that sounds like a great time. And then onto the 5 prompts, and also one of the prompts is to read one of Kingfisher's self or indie published books, and that is the one I'll be reading for that. I will be reading The Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking for that prompt. But if you look at the graphics that Sarah made, they put together the prompt and then all the books that fit under that prompt, so they've made this really easy for us, and I found that really helpful. So another one of the prompts is to read one of Kingfisher's standalones, and she has a few, and the one I settled on is the one that I actually own. So that just made sense to me. So this is the Twisted Ones, and actually if I looked at all of Kingfisher's books on Goodreads, and this is the book that has the lowest ratings, I believe, but I think people liked this. It was just they didn't love the ending, so knowing that going in, I'll be more prepared for it. And this is one of her horror novels, and from what I have heard, this is about a woman named Mouse whose grandmother passes away, and she inherits the house, and her grandmother was a hoarder, so she has to go through all of her stuff. And creepy things start to happen. I think she comes across her grandfather's journal, and it talks about all this stuff that was happening in the house. So I love a good haunted house story. And this is 381 pages. So this is the biggest book on my TBR, but I think it'll be a good one to get through. And I do like horror lately, so, and I just love Kingfisher's writing, so I am not worried about that one at all. And then I'm gonna pull up one of the graphics so I can remind myself what the prompts are. The next one is to read a book in one of her series, and I looked online on where's the best way to start with T. Kingfisher series because I'm interested in them all, which is a lot for me because I'm not a huge series reader, but actually they all sound really good. And I was thinking Paladine's Grace because I know that's the one Cait is reading right now and she's loving it. But online they told me that Clockwork Boys is probably the best way to start, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read that one, and I want to say, I think that's what it's called. Let me make sure before yeah, Clockwork Boys. And then there's a sequel to that one. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get to that as well. But I want to let you know that all of these books I found on Scribd. So if you are looking for a way to access these books, check Scribd, see if they're available, or check your library or the Libby app. One of them is not an audiobook, but there is an ebook on Scribd. So that is very helpful, and I like that I have access to all these, and I'm going to download them all now so I have them ready to go. So then the next one is read one of her fairy tale retellings. And I didn't really know many of her fairy tale retellings, so it's helpful that Sarah put these underneath, and I haven't heard of any of these or anybody talk about any of these, but I read through all the synopsis. And the one that I settled on was Bryony and Roses. Know nothing about it. I did read the synopsis, but that was a while ago, and I've read so many of the synopsises of her book, and this is the one that I remember appealing to me the most, so that is the one that I'm going to read. And then the next one is to read one of her novellas or short story collections. She has a lot of those. I recommend What Moves the Dead. I thought that was a great novella and a really quick read, and I loved it on audiobook. And then the one that I settled on was Minor Mage, and this sounds so cute. This is the one I couldn't find an audiobook for, but there is an ebook on Scribd. And the familiar in this one I think is in Armadillo, and it's a wizard who's not great at magic, and I think they're kind of allergic to the armadillo or something. I just think it looks so cute. The armadillo, the cover sold me on that one. So those are the 5 books that I'm going to read for this readathon. And if you want to participate or plan to participate, let me know. I will leave all the information you need down below, as I said. And I'm just really looking forward to this readathon. I don't think I've ever done a readathon that focuses on one author, but I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you again for your support. I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.